You don't get something if you don't give nothing. When you do something, something happens. When our thinking takes on an orderly, disciplined fashion, the results are orderly and disciplined. When Allah Almighty sent all the holy books and the seal of books, the Quran, there was a description and a prescription on how to think and how to live our lives. There are things that are lawful that we should do. There are things that are unlawful that we should not do. This has been spelled out. You don't use that information to beat somebody in the head. You use that information to apply in our lives to relinquish our weeds. Those things that keep us from growing and developing as human beings to be the representatives of Allah Almighty on earth. But we miscrew this. We use it as a means of beating someone else in the head as opposed to empowering ourselves with this instruction. And so we wonder why there's no fruit. There are no crops this year. Why there's so much disease. What is happening now in the society has never happened before. We've never had these kinds of diseases in our community. We've never had this kind of fear of our people in the community. We've never had such savagery in our community. Mentally ill, physically ill, spiritually ill, poverty. That is symptomatic of something that was able to get in the way of growth and development somewhere. Where are the troubleshooters to stop such an hideous crime? That's an abomination that we are imposing on ourselves because we don't listen. Allah says, listen to those, follow those who ask no reward from us. They are on true guidance from their Lord. They are the ones that teach us how to keep the weeds from the fruit so they can grow and develop. They are the ones that bring the guidance to the people so the people can grow up to be healthy and wealthy and prosperous and productive and constructive human beings. Why would we interfere with that? We don't want them to talk. We're jumping all in front of them. We got to say what we say. People saying something that they cannot do, they don't live. And so we suffer the consequences. The people should be out front that's directing the people, that's correcting the people that has been corrected. Their voice is not heard. Always some weed want to jump up and present itself as a flower, as a fruit, as something beneficial. And we have to stop that. We have to start whacking those weeds.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar!
There's no way in the world somebody, you should see somebody getting beaten, getting killed in the streets, and you sit idly by because you're frightened. To die, we're going to die anyway. We're going to die anyway. We call ourselves righteous people, Jews, Christians, Muslims. How do you think Allah Almighty looks at this situation? You think we honored because we came into the mosque today, or we went to church, or we went to the synagogue? That's honor. And yet the abomination in the streets are like weeds, and there are no weed whackers. How do you think Allah Almighty looks at us? We are representatives of the Prophet, all that is good? I don't think so. We are frightened of our lives, but our lives are not ours. You can't keep yourself here when you want to stay here. You didn't even bring yourself here. So how can you claim yourself? That's a sinful, unadulterated fear of a grafted mentality that Shaitan has planted in us, and we have become weeds. and somebody need to whack us. We stand in the way of progress. Want to be seen as something great, but we're weeds. No one want any weeds in their house. Nobody want any weeds around their garden. We've allowed those weeds to get so strong. We need hatchets. We need a radical situation to remove the weeds now. Because when they were young and they were tender, they were so cute. Ain't nothing cute about a weed. Even when it's a seed, it ain't cute if we know that it's a weed. Because we know what it's going to do. It's nothing cute about a naughty baby that just won't do because they're not disciplined and the parents just let them do what they want to do. That the community allowed them to do what they want to do, or the nation allows them to do what they want to do. There's nothing cute about that. That's why our prisons are filled with people that they're good people, but they haven't been treated and they haven't been trained properly. They have not been disciplined to respect the honor of themselves. Allah honored us by bringing us in existence. And we dishonor that by allowing our behavior to do as we like. We think freedom is doing as we like. That's not freedom. Freedom is responsibility. That's when we become free. It's an ever-increasing responsibility because as long as we're thinking and we can't stop thinking, we should be always improving, never being satisfied. But we have to take on the mentality of the prophets. We don't have to be prophets to take on the mentality of prophets. But Allah Almighty will reward us like He rewarded the prophets. Why do you think we are in this world? To work your 9 to 5 or do your business or do what you do? Watch your TVs? You think that's why we're here? We are here to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth. We are the weed whackers. We have to keep the garden. If we're going to establish the garden on earth as it is in heaven, then we must keep that keeps the garden from being what it should be. We should protect the garden from anything that's going to allow the garden from growing. We must stop it head on. Where are the men and women of God? We always say, yeah, I'm a righteous person, but our actions don't dictate that. We're not protected by no buildings. The only way we're protecting is by doing the will of Allah Almighty, the Creator. That's our protection. When we're not doing that, there is no protection. There is no protection. This has gotten crazy. And you think Allah Almighty gonna bless us and give us good things when we're not doing the things that are good? Would you reward a naughty child, a disobedient child? No. Allah will send wrath just like He will send wrath and havoc on a child that's causing problems in the household. It ain't no different. Don't look at nobody else. Point your finger at you and say you are responsible. Don't look to nobody else. Look at yourselves. Everyone can do what they can do. Everyone can clean themselves where they are. Everybody can do what they need to do where they are. And that's the problem. Everybody is not fulfilling their responsibility. We're looking and say, oh, that person has to do it. I can do nothing. Everyone can do something. If you can throw a stone at a window, you can put a window pane in.